Happy Friday, April 1st, everybody. This is not going to be a cheesy April Fool's event. We're going to shoot through some nerd talk today. I just had a 2-hour and 30-minute meeting on my UI and UX with HapPhi to go through all the different elements of making a great product and making it simple to use. Now, UI stands for user interface. UX stands for user experience. And in the technology world, some people interchange them, even though they're different things. They both kind of play in the same arena, which is how does the product look and how does the user interact with that product in order to get things done. So UI is your look and feel, where the buttons are, what icons you've chosen, what colors you've chosen, and user experience is all your different other pieces. How do things feel when you're moving through the product? And when I'm looking at this live stream right now, the big red button at the bottom when you end stream, I've got up to the left where it says live, how long I've been on. These are user experience things after they've done the UI work of placing. It's your experience of how you're going to interact with a product after. So how does the product make you feel? And that sounds cheesy, but people do have emotional attachments to pieces of software. You either like it or you hate it, and sometimes you might even love it if it's put together properly and it solves problems for you. So the goal of anybody who's creating a great piece of software is you want people to love it. You want people to get in there, actually have fun clicking around buttons, actually feel good looking at colors that you like to look at, actually feel that it's accomplishing things, saving you time, saving you money, making you money, and you're having fun doing it with lots of different interactive pieces to deal with. So, one of the things that I think is going to be unique about HapPhi, there's going to be a lot of unique things, but one of the things that's going to be really unique is how you actually store and find data. There's nothing more annoying when you've had 2, 4, 6, 10 years of data, trying to find something that you sent to your mother a long time ago. Try to find an article in your text or in Slack or in Dropbox that's old, and good luck with your next hour or 2 hours of your day. Try to find a picture of your child that you sent to your friends, or a meme that you sent in a friend group chat sometime last year that you think was funny, and you'll waste hours of your time. So we're solving that problem amongst other things. Now, the other geeky thing, and I'll get into that in a lot more detail, but it's going to be freaking awesome. So another thing that I wanted to talk about, another nerdy term that you're going to hear is a microservice. Is a microservices architecture. I love this, man. I pulled this up as a definition, and I just started laughing because I'm like, no wonder people hate technology people. A microservice architecture, a variant of the service-oriented architecture structural style, arranges an application as a collection of loosely coupled services. In a microservices architecture, services are fine-grained and protocols are lightweight. Okay, so let me explain what it is. Let's say you have a product that has different features and functions. Each one of those features and functions is a separate code base. So, in we were just talking about search. A search is a part of a microservice for us. So it's a separate code base specifically for search that will be accessible behind an API. And I'll explain API nerd talk here in a second. So what a microservice architecture does is it breaks out, instead of one giant pile of code that's part of everything, it breaks out the code into different components so that other people could even leverage them. So let's say that you like our search and you're like, that search way better than our search. We need that search. Now you can pull in that search through our API into an existing product. Now you'd also need the database portion as well because the search is tied to the database. But now you can pull in different components. You don't have to pull in everything. And microservices architecture allows you to do that. It also has advantages because each portion is its own module. If there's a bug, you can go in and easily kind of check it and figure out what the issue is. So microservice architecture is the way that anybody with half a brain's doing things now. But a lot of older pieces of legacy software, which just basically means stuff that was built a long time ago, they may not have it. Might just be one big compile of code, and you got to figure it out from there, not behind an API, not accessible as through an API. Now, API, application protocol interface, real nerdy. Let me read you the nerd definition so that we can laugh. An application programming interface, I'm not going to do the cheesy voice this time. An application programming interface is a connection between computers or between computer programs. It is a type of software interface offering a service to other places of software. A document or standard that describes how to build or such a connection interface is called an API specification. Again, nerds are terrible at communication and explaining things. Okay. What is an API? An API is basically a way to tie together disparate systems using a set of standard protocols. So you lay out the structure, your documentation, what each of those different calls does, and it allows somebody who goes, hey, I want to be able to pull in user data. I want to be able to pull in location data, and I want to be able to pull in the search feature. So it will give you instructions on how to pull in and push data back so that you can interact with somebody who's already built a code base. That code base is behind the API. So the person doesn't want to give you all their work, but they want to allow you to access all the work that they've done. You do that through an API. So you call, you push information and you pull information essentially to and from the API. And now you can leverage technology and software that you didn't spend your time building and create on top of it. A great example is my old world, which was Twilio. Twilio has an API that allows you to send and receive text messages, send and receive emails. You can actually set it up for number verification. So if you log in and you want one of those text notifications that says, hey, put in code 724821 to register, they have that feature built in. They don't give you the code, but they give you access to the API. Each part of those API calls will allow you to call that feature in, save you a ton of time on development. So if you're an entrepreneur trying to get a product up and running, you technically could go out to a whole bunch of APIs, incorporate a bunch of different things other people have done, tie it into your product, and you could have a badass product pretty quickly. The downside is, what if one of those companies goes out of business? The downside is then you're handling all this disparate information, all these different things, tying in through a front end. You really have no control over a lot of that. If something goes wrong on a vendor side, which does happen, you could have a whole bunch of customers yelling at you and you might not have any answers. And sometimes that company may go out of business. And that's happened in my career before too, where all of a sudden you get a notice, hey, in the next 30 days, we're going to be gone. Good luck. And you're like, oh, got to figure something out real fast. So API is a good thing. It's a great piece of technology, very handy. We're building ours. Our product is a microservice architecture that will be accessible through an API, which basically means we have a whole bunch of different features that people can call through an API and leverage in any way that they want. So this is the beginning of Nerd Talk. Hopefully this is explaining some of the stuff that you may hear over and over again in a nice, clear, concise way. User interface, what it looks like, user experience, how the person is interacting with the product itself. Real simple stuff, man. I mean, we're moving a full speed ahead on our product. It's a great Friday. I hope everybody's having a great day. I'll keep you guys updated as more information comes along. Thank you for joining, and I hope everyone has a great weekend, and be happy.